Hello everybody, I am Josh and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. Now today I am building a house called Aura Gardens because I quite literally could not think of a better name. But nevertheless, this was a kind of interesting house that I built because I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this house is not kind of in my normal style, so especially when it comes to the interior furnishing, when it comes to the colors, I use a lot of dark woods and bunch of stuff that I don't usually do, but you know, I thought this would be kind of interesting. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm starting out with the shape of the house, which is also kind of unusual. It's a two-story house, but the first floor is quite a lot larger than the second floor, so the second floor only takes up a small part of the footprint of the house, as you can see, which was kind of an interesting idea. So there's quite a lot of roof on this house, which kind of makes up quite a lot of the exterior appearance. The roof is definitely a dominant part of the exterior, but you know, I think it turned out quite nicely. And also the landscaping too is quite important. I guess it's not important, but you know, it's a big feature of this house because I do cover it in a lot of trees because I don't know, I thought it kind of suited the style of the house, so that's what I ended up doing. Yeah, anyway, this house is going to have 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in the end, which is quite a lot of bedrooms to have considering it doesn't look like quite a large house, although it is surprisingly large inside, and I had a little bit of trouble figuring out what to do with all this space, as you'll see when I move on to the floor plan. Anyway, right here we're putting on the windows, and I kind of mix the styles of windows a little bit. So on the front I have those kind of Victorian windows, and then around the sides and back I kind of have normal windows. I'm not entirely sure. I thought that the larger windows in the front with the more elaborate trim kind of went well, you know, kind of like defined the front of the house because that's like what's facing the street, so that's why I did that. Also, the front door was a little bit hard to match color-wise because also the windows in the front don't entirely match color-wise, so the rest of the windows is slightly lighter. It's a slightly lighter brown in the inner panes, but that's because it's a different style. But that was a little annoying, but otherwise I think it worked out pretty well. Yeah, so you can see that's all the windows in, and when it comes to the coloring, I originally started out doing blue with a kind of beige colored stone, but I changed that pretty quickly because I didn't think it suited the interior. So you'll see when I move on to the inside, I kind of do a lot of browns and dark colors, and I just thought it was a weird contrast to the outside, so I ended up changing the outside to brown, and I also put some dark brick in, which I thought was quite nice. So you'll see that change in a little while. Yes, you can see here, the roof color I think stays that way, so it does stay a dark brown, which I actually really like that roof. Yeah, anyway, we're coming into the landscaping, which I kind of do something weird with this house. Like, I started landscaping the front, then I went inside, and then I came back and finished landscaping, and then I finished the inside. You know, I was all over the place with this house. I don't know, because sometimes it's hard for me to like sit down and build a whole house all in one sitting. So what I end up doing is like getting bored of the interior, so then I do the outside, then I get bored of that, so then I go inside. So, you know, I don't know, it's a more efficient way, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, you can see here I've put a lot of plants out front already, including that elephant topiary, which is in the very front. I thought that was kind of a neat addition. I very rarely use those kind of shaped hedges. I think they're kind of cool though. Yeah, anyway, we're moving on to the floor plan here, and the kind of weird shaped angled room here is going to be the study, and then this is going to be the living room in the middle there. And on the far side, where those 4 large windows are, is going to be a bedroom, which is kind of odd because I originally was going to make that the dining room, but then I wanted there to be like a small kind of dining area for the kitchen. Then they ended up being, the 2 dining areas ended up being next to each other, which was kind of weird, so I ended up getting rid of the formal dining room, so yeah. So it's kind of weird because there's like 5 bedrooms in this house, but not a formal dining room. So I guess if you really want to, you can download this house and change one of the bedrooms into a formal dining room or whatever. But yeah. Also, another interesting fact about this house is that the first floor is actually the lower ceiling height, just like the second floor. Because normally I make the first floors in my houses the taller ceilings, but for this house I wanted to make it more cozy, so I didn't end up doing that. And yeah, so anyway, we're moving on to the kitchen here, and you can see this is where I first bring brick into the house with the flooring, which I actually do change, but I do put the brick on the walls and inside and outside. So I kind of brought a rustic feel in with that because I really liked the look of it. Yeah, so you can see we're putting in the cabinets and a red refrigerator. Oh, there we go, I changed it to black. And yeah, so I thought this kitchen turned out nice. It's one of my favorite rooms in the house because, you know, it's really cozy and it's quite spacious too. I mean, it's not like a cramped kitchen, which is kind of why I liked it. You know, it's got some warm colors in it, the browns and reds, and I thought it looked really nice in the end. So yeah, so you can see here we have this large island and this sink. There are quite a lot of bar stools. I don't know if they're bar stools, I could just call them stools. A bunch of stools surrounding the island there. I think there's 7 of them, so it's quite a lot. And also the green on there added a nice pop of color in the room too, so I kind of liked that addition. Yeah, also the flooring, it's kind of like a terracotta diamond pattern flooring, which I ended up using throughout quite a lot of the first floor because I really liked it. It brought like a really warm color into the flooring, so I do just originally put it in this hallway and by the front door, but I expand it into that whole room later on. So yeah, moving on to the flooring, you can see I go with a really dark wood, and I also change all the doors and archways in the house to a darker wood too, which at first I was a little concerned about doing that because the windows are white, but I guess the dark brown inner trim pieces on the windows kind of is good enough, so I think it's fine. Yeah, so also adding in some details to the kitchen here, microwave, trash can, and also putting some flower boxes outside. I really like the flower boxes, they had a nice detail. And yeah, so just some plants and other small things just to make the kitchen look a little bit more detailed and lived in and things like that, the usual stuff. Also a nice little mat there by the sink. Yeah, so that's pretty much the kitchen finished, I believe. So here was my dining room dilemma. So I had this gigantic room, and you can see it was way too big for the dining table. So I was going to split it into a formal dining room and like a small eat-in area for the kitchen. But then I didn't think that it would make sense to have 2 dining rooms next to each other. I mean, I guess it would, but I thought it was kind of weird. So I ended up making the room with the fireplace, which is right behind this dining room here, into a bedroom. So it's kind of odd. I mean, I guess if you don't need the other bedroom, you could make it into something else, so it's not a huge deal, but it was just an interesting decision that I made. Yeah, so this is the eat-in area for the kitchen and the only dining room in the house. I mean, it's kind of small, but it does have room for 6 Sims, so I guess, I mean, there's just 5 bedrooms. I guess could be a lot more than 6 people living in the house, but, you know, it could always be expanded too, so it's not a huge deal, but it kind of fits with the kitchen theme. You see it's the same flooring and walls and stuff. And yeah, so we're moving on to the living room next, I think, or maybe the bedroom, I'm not entirely sure. But you can see here's where I choose the door for that room. Okay, we're going to do the bedroom here, I think. Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting bedroom because there's no full bathroom downstairs. The only full bathrooms are upstairs. Oh, actually, I take that back. We're not going to do the bedroom. We're going to do the outside, of course, because my thought processes make sense. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm coming outside here to redo the colors and materials outside. So you can see here we have the brown siding and the brick instead, which I thought went better with the brown roof and also with the interior color scheme, because I kind of like the insides and outsides of my house to go together a little bit better, so that's why I did that. I also brought the brick inside. You can see on that one wall by the kitchen, which I thought was nice. So yeah, we're doing this bedroom here, which is, I believe, the largest bedroom in the house. So it could be the master bedroom, except there's no full bathroom on the first floor, so that is a little odd. But, you know, I guess it worked out. I really like this bedroom, though. It's got a fireplace and got a nice bed. I actually like that bed a lot. It has some nice patterns for the bedspread. There's a lot of different choices for that, which is more than I can say for some of the beds. Yeah, so also a golden mirror there, which I think I changed, or maybe I don't, I'm not sure. And just some nice furnishings throughout, also putting in some curtains. And also there's interesting checked wallpaper on the wall, which is not one I've used before. I just discovered it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. A little bit more rustic themed, you know, it's not really modern, so I thought it kind of suited the style of the house better. And also a nice little sitting area here under the painting, and yeah, just also some details on the fireplace and the dresser, just to make it kind of looked finished off. Now the living room, I originally started with this really dark red wallpaper, and I ended up theming the room around the red a lot, but when I finished it and like I stepped away for a while and I came back, I realized it was very ugly. So I ended up doing is changing it a bit. So in the end, the living room has brown walls and some green accents as opposed to the red walls and red accents, because I thought the red just did not suit the house, like the rest of the color scheme in the house. It was just really weird. So yeah. Also, I have this grand piano, which I kind of slotted into the room. It was a like small empty space there, and I thought I could fit a piano in, and I kind of barely did. It is a bit cramped, but it looks kind of nice. It's a bit elegant. Yeah, so also adding in some details here. You can see some mirrors on the wall, some stuff on the coffee table there. Also a chess table and this nice side table here by the half bathroom, which I'm doing right now. Yeah, so you can see it's just a small bathroom with a sink and a toilet. Nothing big in here. Also that really weird circular window, which I could not find a curtain for, so I ended up just leaving it blank. It's a little frustrating. They don't have very good curtains in this game. Like, they don't fit the windows all too well. Especially when you have like a long row of windows, the curtains don't look right. But anyway, this is the entrance room, which I had some trouble working with because it's such a huge room. Also, since there's a living room right next to it, it was a little bit weird to have two living rooms next to each other. Also here you can see I just changed the wall colors in the living room to brown, and also changed the accents to green, which looks quite a lot nicer. Also, I really like this green rug that's in the entrance here. I think that's quite nice. Yeah, anyway, it was a little bit weird to have two living rooms next to each other, so I kind of just put a small sitting area in the entrance here by the fireplace, which I thought was okay. I mean, it's a huge room for just a couple of chairs, but I guess it's okay. I mean, if you download the house, you can make that room into whatever you want. It could probably be a bit more useful, but for now, it's just a small entrance room. It's a large entrance room. And yeah, so you can see there, just adding in some details. I'm trying to fill it up as best as I can, considering it is a large room. And yeah, so I think the last room we have left on this floor is the study, which I'm going to get to in a moment. It's adding in a railing there on the stairs, and a railing upstairs as well, which is quite convenient to have, because otherwise it could be a bit dangerous. And also just adding up rows there on that side table. Anyway, the study is right here. It's kind of a weird shaped room, so it's a little bit of a challenge to fit a lot of bookshelves in here. So there's 3 of them, and four of them actually. I'm not sure how many of them are usable. I think most of them are. And yeah, so you can have a nice computer there and some chairs by the fireplace. A lot of fireplaces in this house. I tend to put a lot of fireplaces in, especially in The Sims 4, since the fireplaces are separate objects. Like, they don't have a chimney attached to them. They're a lot easier just to place in. So I end up putting a lot more of them in my houses. Like this house, I think it has 4 fireplaces in it. So quite a lot of fireplaces, but I like them. They add a nice cozy feel to the house. Yeah, so you can see here I'm adding in some details to the study. You know, it's a pretty basic room, slightly bland, but I guess it was okay. You have nice chairs there and some nice plants and stuff. And yeah, so now we're moving outside apparently, and I think this is where I finished the landscaping. So I just decided to come outside and just finish the landscaping on the entire house, because there's quite a lot left. Yes, there's quite a lot of bushes and flowers, and I just kind of shoved a lot of stuff into a small space. A lot of trees, which you'll notice, which I did on purpose, because I kind of wanted this house to have a sheltered look, like there was a lot of trees around it. And you might think it's a bit too crowded, but trees are pretty easy to remove if you don't like them all, so not a huge deal. I just thought it looked kind of cool. Yeah, also that brick pathway, as you can see, it's the same kind of pattern that I originally had in the kitchen, because I really liked it and I wanted to use it somewhere. And yeah, you can see here I'm putting in some dirt terrain paint under all the plants, which is something I tend to do. And yeah, just looking for more trees, of course, because you can never have enough trees. Yeah, that tree right there kind of blocks the house, but I think it works well anyway. And yeah, also add a little bit of a peak there to the front roof, which I think helps make the house look a little bit better. And yeah, so just adding in some more details. I was trying to incorporate some more flower boxes in, but it didn't really work. And also here, this is the back deck, which I changed from a deck to a porch, which you'll see I'm doing right here. I get some columns in and I put a roof on it, and I kind of make it more of a usable space, because I don't know, I like the idea of a porch a lot more than a deck, because the porch feels a lot more integrated into the house, while a deck is kind of just something added on to the outside. So that's kind of why I like porches a bit more. So you can see there, I added a porch to the back, and yeah, I think it adds a nice amount of outdoor space to the house. The only thing is like right behind this lot is that pathway. I mean, of course you can place this house in any lot you want, but in this lot in Newcrest, there's that pathway right behind it, and Sims just like walk right past, and it almost feels like they're walking like right through the backyard of this house, which is kind of weird. but I guess it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so you can see you're just putting in some more plants, quite a lot of plants, just all over the place. Very lush landscaping, which is one of the reasons why I used gardens as one of the words in this house's name. It's Aura Gardens. I don't know, I was desperate. I could not think of a good name, so I kind of cobbled together two words that don't really make sense together, but I guess it works fine. Yeah, so you can see here just, again, more plants, of course, and just some nice flowers and more dirt terrain paint just to make sure it all is finished off and nice looking. I really like the look of the dirt terrain paint. It really just adds that finishing touch. Of course, another tree, because that's, of course, necessary. And another tree as well. And some more plants, and yeah, I feel like I'm just saying the word plant, more plants over and over and over, but there are quite a lot of plants. And I think that is pretty much the landscaping finished. So I was adding in some more terrain paint details to the grass. And yeah, I think that's the landscaping done, which is exciting. And now we're going to add some decking materials, and we're going to move upstairs. How exciting is that? So this is the upstairs bathroom, which is a small bathroom. It's the only other full bathroom besides the master bathroom, so not that many full bathrooms. So like 4 bedrooms kind of share this one bathroom, which is a little bit inconvenient, but I don't know, I couldn't really squeeze in any more bathrooms, so I guess there's probably a better way to do the floor plan in this house than I did, but you know, whatever. And yeah, so this is the first guest bedroom, and it uses this really interesting bed that has a bunch of Van Gogh paintings for the bedspread. There's different options. I think they have Starry Night and the sunflower one. I don't know what the name of that is. That's embarrassing. Anyway, the one with the sunflowers on it. And yeah, I think it's a quite nice bedroom. It has a kind of pale yellow color scheme, and it's just quite nice and elegant. What am I doing here? I'm changing the wood flooring out. Forgot I did that. Yeah, I made it from black to brown, which I think is a nicer touch. Anyway, back to the bedroom. You know, just a nice, simple bedroom. Kind of an elegant, light and airy color scheme, which I thought was nice. You know, this is a nice guest bedroom. This bedroom is a little bit more controversial. It's kind of a brown and turquoise color scheme, and I don't know. This bedroom I kind of cobbled together. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I did some weird stuff with the color scheme in this house, so this bedroom is one of those examples. Yeah, and also I'm not entirely sure I picked the best furniture to go together for this room, but in the end it's not too bad. Again, if you download the house, you can change it to your desire. Yeah, so you can see here just adding in some details. It's quite a large bedroom. It's actually larger than the master bedroom, but it's not the master bedroom because it doesn't have the ensuite, and there wasn't any room to put an ensuite for this bedroom, so that's why. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The master bedroom is kind of like the middle-sized bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms larger than it and 2 bedrooms smaller than it, which is kind of weird, but you know. Yeah, so that's that bedroom finished, and this is a small kid's bedroom. I haven't actually done it. Oh, I take that back. I did do a kid's bedroom in the last house. Yeah, this is a kid's bedroom, and I do change the wallpaper because it's kind of a baby-ish wallpaper for this bedroom. But you know, it's got a lot of furniture in it considering it's a small room, but I still think it turned out nicely. Also, quite a lot of details in here. I put a lot of toys in, including that llama and that dinosaur, which I thought were nice. Some toy cars and a plane, and you know, just a bunch of toys and other random stuff just to add into the room. Also a computer, of course, and some posters to finish it off, because that's always nice to have. And yeah, so just adding in the final touches, and I do change the wallpaper to that color there. And yeah, so that's that bedroom finished. And this here is the master bedroom, which you can see is not that big, but it does have the wood floors, and it does have the ensuite bathroom, and it does have the fireplace, so it is semi-fancy. And yeah, so you have the double bed there, a couple dressers, some nice curtains. You can see that curtain there over the fireplace and over the bed doesn't quite fit those windows, which is what I was talking about earlier, how these curtains, like if you have a long row of windows, the curtains just don't fit, which is kind of annoying. Like they don't have like the right sized curtains, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of annoying, but it worked out fine. You can see here kind of a very interesting green color scheme to this bedroom, which again is kind of more bold than I would normally do, but it turned out pretty nicely. And here's the master bathroom, which is pretty basic. It's got a couple sinks and an interesting layout here with the toilet in between the sinks. I'm not sure that's the best way to do it, but it worked because I wanted to make sure there was enough room for some details in the bathroom as well alongside the other wall. Like I wanted to have towels, and I love the robe on a hook that they have. I think that's kind of nice. So I always like to put that in. So you can see here adding in some details like some towels, hampers. There's the robe, of course. And yeah, so that's pretty much that bathroom finished. And we're going to add the final details of the house now on the outside. And yeah, so you can see just putting in some potted plants and some mats by the doors and a nice outdoor sitting area so your Sims can eat outside, which is always nice. I guess that's a second dining area to the house, so I guess that kind of works. Also little monkey bars there for the child Sim that lives in this house, presumably, to play on. And yeah, so adding in some outdoor lighting to finish off the house. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and there are quite a lot more videos like this on my channel. Also, there are going to be some screenshots after this, so I hope you enjoy those. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I'll hope to see you in the next one as well. Bye!